Welcome to Meaning in Christ. This video is a part of the My Thoughts on God series, where I discuss my interpretation of Bible stories. Today, we're going to explore one of the most profound and relatable stories in the Bible, the Book of Job. His story is often seen as a tale of suffering and faith, but there's more to it. Job's journey reflects our own inner struggles, the way we question ourselves in tough times, and how we can hold on to hope, even when life feels like it's falling apart. Let's start with one of the most challenging parts of the Book of Job, the bet between God and Satan. In Job 1:8-12, Satan comes before God and suggests that Job only remains faithful because his life is good. God allows Satan to test Job, and what follows is a series of tragedies. Job loses his family, his wealth, and his health. This bet might seem troubling, but it reflects how we sometimes feel about life when we face hardship. Whether it's losing a job, a loved one, or going through personal pain, it can feel like the universe is out to get us. We may wonder, why is this happening to me? Was this all just a cruel game? Just like Job, it feels like we're being tested, as though some higher power is messing with us. This bet may seem unreasonable, but it reveals a deep truth about how we view our own lives. Often, when we face unimaginable hardships, we ask, why me? What have I done to deserve this? This metaphorical bet between God and Satan reflects the trials we all endure, where our faith, values, and perseverance are tested. The idea of God allowing this test might seem troubling, but it taps into a very human feeling that life's challenges can seem arbitrary, even unfair. When things fall apart, it's easy to feel like we're part of some cosmic bet, as if life itself is testing us. As Job's suffering deepens, his friends come into the picture, and here's where the story becomes really relatable. In Job 4:7-8, his friends ask, "Who that was innocent ever perished, or where were the upright cut off?" Basically, they're saying, you must have done something wrong to deserve this. And we do the same thing to ourselves, don't we? When life falls apart, we start asking, what did I do to deserve this? Is this my fault? His friends represent that inner voice of doubt and guilt that we all have. In their attempts to explain Job's suffering, they reflect our instinct to blame ourselves when things go wrong. We wonder, did I make a mistake? Did I bring this on myself? This internal dialogue can be one of the most painful parts of going through tough times, as we struggle to find meaning in our suffering. His friends represent an age-old attempt to make sense of suffering by blaming the victim. Yet, Job challenges this notion. He refuses to accept that his misfortune is a result of wrongdoing and instead confronts God. His questioning comes from a place of innocence and integrity. This invites us to question whether suffering is always tied to guilt, or whether, like Job, we find that it isn't. He asks similar questions. In Job 6:24, he pleads, "Teach me, and I will be silent. Make me understand how I have gone astray." He's searching for answers, just like we do. But as the story progresses, we see that Job's suffering isn't a direct result of any specific wrongdoing. Sometimes, life's hardships aren't about something we did wrong. This part of Job's story reminds us that suffering can be mysterious and unfair, and it's not always tied to our mistakes. One of the most powerful messages in Job's story is about perseverance, holding on to your morals and your integrity, even in the face of adversity. In Job 1:22, we're told, "In all this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing." Despite losing everything, Job holds on to his faith. He questions, he doubts, but he doesn't give up. This reflects a lesson for all of us. When life is at its worst, we often feel tempted to abandon our principles. But Job's story shows that if we hold on, if we remain true to ourselves and our values, we can make it through even the toughest times. This isn't to say that everything will magically get better, but Job's perseverance does lead to a kind of renewal. His story is not just about faith, but confronting chaos and bring meaning to it. Like Job, we must strive to find meaning and maintain our integrity. At the end of the book, in Job 42:10-17, we see that Job's fortunes are restored, and he is blessed even more than before. Now, this doesn't mean that we'll always see a happy ending in life, but it suggests that if we stay true to who we are, there is hope. Sometimes it's about rebuilding, whether that's external, like Job's wealth, or internal, like personal growth or finding peace after tragedy. Ultimately, the book of Job offers us hope, but not in the way we might expect. The story doesn't provide answers to why bad things happen. Instead, it offers something different. The idea that suffering is part of the human experience, and that even when it feels like life is unfair, we can persevere. His story touches on this deeper truth. No matter how chaotic or unjust the world feels, there is meaning to be found in how we respond to it. The bet between God and Satan is not just about testing Job's faith, but about seeing whether he will continue to act with moral integrity even when life falls apart. And that's where the hope lies. Like Job, we have the power to bring meaning out of the hardships of life, even if we don't understand the reasons behind it. And that's something we can all hold on to when life feels unbearable. Like Job, we can face hardship, question it, but cling to what makes us who we are. And maybe, just maybe, we can rebuild and find a new sense of peace and purpose. Thank you for watching as I explored my thoughts on the book of Job. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you next time as we continue exploring the intersections of faith and history.